Okay, so now, today we're having the long-awaited review, probably for me. I doubt anyone else cares. And the most messed up part is I'm reviewing this book, and I doubt a lot of people are going to be able to read it, because I don't think it's been translated into English in like 20 years. And I had to buy an old copy. Well, I didn't buy it, I got it as a gift. An old copy off eBay. So if you can find it in your public library, I know my university library has a copy. If you can find it in your library and you're interested, I highly suggest reading it. But we have Ernesto Sabato's On Heroes and Tombs. Very, very interesting work. So essentially, Ernesto Sábato, if you remember from my review of The Tunnel, was a person, an Argentinian writer, who, super interesting, got a degree in physics, was a working physicist, decided he wanted to be an artist, and started painting and writing. He wrote 3 novels, became one of the most celebrated Argentinian authors of all time, and kind of a successor to Borges. And then also was a painter. He got commissioned to write, investigate like these war crimes later on, and to head this commission and to write the report. And that's supposed to be brilliant. Anyway, so a really interesting guy. And On Heroes and Tombs is considered like his magnum opus, like his masterpiece. And I'm just going to say, you should read The Tunnel, which is a very short book, and I've reviewed, and I really enjoyed on my channel. Because, not that you have to, you absolutely do not have to read that book to read this book at all. But there is one interesting little section where he talks about the narrator, which is complicated. The narrator, one of the narrators in this book, talks about the stuff that went on in The Tunnel. He kind of references it, which is kind of cool. But anyway, okay, let's get to this book. So this book is one of the most sprawling, I'm going to say it's kind of like almost a Latin American Ulysses, but not quite. It's not stream of consciousness per se, but it is very like postmodern, ambiguous, like modernist writing, where sometimes you always are feeling like you're right on the cusp of breaking through and understanding everything that's in here. But you never quite get there. It's like there's one little phrase or key or idea that would like give it all away, but he purposely kind of makes you work for it. He doesn't ever give you that. He lets you get close, but then you never really get it. And I'm sure on repeated readings and repeated like investigation, you could definitely get really deep into this. But part of it is there's a boy named Martin, and he meets a girl named Alejandra who kind of mysteriously approaches him, and he starts to like, he starts to dig on her. So he follows her around and hangs out. They kind of hang out, and he gets weirder and weirder, and he gets more paranoid. And there's like another guy that she's friends with whose name's Bruno, and then like they become friends, Martin and Bruno, and they talk. And then it's like Alejandra's kind of like this enigmatic figure. She comes and goes, and she gets randomly mad at Martin and kind of kicks him out sometimes. And then eventually something happens. Something crazy happens. And then the book's in 4 sections. You have, I know the third one because it was crazy, but I want to give you the names. So you have and then you have, sorry, my dog was barking. I had to go investigate. So I lost track of what I was saying before. Anyway, the 4 sections. That's what I was talking about. The first section is The Dragon and the Princess. Where Martin and Alejandra meet, and then you have The Invisible Faces is section 2, where things kind of go bad. Then you get this crazy section 3, Report on the Blind, which is, it's literally reports that the police find in the aftermath later of something that happens, and it's put into the book, as like this crazy section about this guy who has this theory that all blind people are part of a secret society that are like attempting to like rule the world, but he's onto them, but he's like scared that if he like overtly talks about it that they'll kill him, or worse, make him blind. And he has all these crazy theories. And then it goes into part 4, An Unknown God, where everything gets wrapped up and it's kind of talked about. Absolutely insane novel. Go read it, or if anyone who's read it, please tell me what you think. I really, really enjoyed it. Definitely a 4-star book. Just insane, dense craziness. There's some fun allusions. There's an instance where like the narrator meets Jorge Luis Borges, like walking around the streets, and like talks to him for a minute, and then like he walks away. It's really interesting. So anyway, please check it out, or if you know anyone who has, tell them to let me know what the hell is going on. As always, happy reading and have a good life.